welcome. There's always tech issues around here, but we will push through them. Stream seems to be doing okay compared to Wednesday. I think I fixed my frame rate issues, but it should be good for tonight's episode, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully you saw the premiere episode. If you did not, that is totally okay. We did establish a lot of stuff. There's a recap in the Discord if you want to go check out that, if you didn't catch everything that was on the pre-stream slides there, recapping the premiere, or you just want to read it all in one chunk, have a little refresher of people, who they are, what happened. There's also, I put up family trees for the Winston family and the Clarke family after stream last week, so if you haven't checked out those and you want like a bit more of a easy way to tell who's related to who, then I would recommend going and checking those out. I'll hopefully have pictures for people that don't have pictures, like supplemental characters that aren't like part of the main tree at some point, but I'm not going to promise when those will be up. But we did have a pretty dramatic premiere. We ended on a very dramatic note anyways. I don't know how many other like things I need to say. This episode, listen, the drama this season is gonna like exponentially ramp up. So kind of like the premiere, I don't think there's anything too like incredibly like wild that happens, but everything's slowly building, and don't worry, things are gonna get crazy like as we go on. I'll turn myself down like one more little bit. How about that? You're so excited. I appreciate people being excited. I'm glad you are. I'm very excited as well. I'm nervous again for this week. This is going to happen every week. I'm going to be super nervous before we start. Then once we get in, I'm going to be okay. But as the cats are knocking things over, I think that's about all. So should we get started? I'll also kind of recap a couple small things like very quickly as we get into stuff. If it becomes relevant, ignore the meowing. I'm very sorry about that. But without further ado, let's get into Traitorous episode 2, Crossing Paths, as you see over here. If you'd like to see the titles of any upcoming Traitorous streams, you can check my stream schedule in the Discord if you want to use that for any sleuthing. Feel free to use the discussion area to talk about it as well, and if you weren't here last week, I'm paying attention to chat a lot less during this. I will catch up on chat during the breaks and respond to you, but during the actual scenes, I'm going to mainly be focusing on that and narrating through it. Okay. I will stop rambling now. It looks like it's lagging a tiny bit, but it should be good enough to go ahead and jump on into it here. So, just like last week, we're going to start the episode with a little bit of a flashback. We're going to be starting off each episode with a little bit of a flashback that relates to the previous episode's cliffhanger before we go ahead and get into modern day episode times. But as you see here, we are starting at the Winston Manor, but it is not modern day. We're starting in a flashback. 13 years ago to be exact. It is 2007 in the world here. Now, the youngest Winston child, Julia, had a daughter 13 years ago, Annabelle, that died of SIDS, or rather, that's what her husband Terrance has told everyone, including Julia. But as we saw at the end of our first episode last week, Terrance was out at Annabelle's grave, just cackling away, talking about how he shouldn't have had the kid dealt with. If he would have known, Julia would have been so annoying about it over a decade later. So maybe there's a little bit more going on here than what we previously thought. If we look through the window, though, back in 2007, here's a bit of a younger Julia, only 24, fresh out of school with her degree in social work, and she's here cuddling and rocking her 3-month-old daughter Annabelle, who she's, it's the new love of her life. Yeah, get ready for the tears again this episode, you guys. Oh, look at her. She's so in love with this little baby girl. It is her pride and joy. I think that her and Terrance have been trying to get pregnant for a bit, almost since they met and got married, and it was one of her crowning accomplishments in life to have this little baby girl here, and she's just making sure she spends some extra time with Annabelle because Julia is going away on a little bit of a business trip this week. She is become a pretty prominent person. Ignore notifications over there, sorry about that. She's become a bit of a prominent person in the social work field. She's pretty new out of schooling, but she's really good at what she does, and so she has actually been asked to speak at a conference a couple towns away on child safety in the home and stuff. So she's going to be leaving on a little bit of a business trip for about a week. She looks a lot happier and much more full of life than we are used to seeing her. Her husband Terrance is around too. He's actually going to go ahead and come in because she's been saying bye to the baby for a while now. She's really going to miss it. It's the first time she's going away from Annabelle since she had her, you know. The baby is actually asleep now, though, so Terrance is going to go ahead and come in. We can see him. He's looking a bit younger, too. Now, he is 11 years older than Julia, so he's still only 35, I believe, in 2007. Yep, here he comes, looking a bit more, you know, young and fresh out of business school, though. He's going to go ahead and strike up a conversation with her. I'm going to drag them into their bedroom in a second so that the walls will behave a little better for this scene. The nursery is not favorable to the camera, but hello, Sims. Yeah, here we go. He can go ahead and kiss her cheek and be like, hey love, you know, your flight's gonna leave soon. You need to get in that taxi and go ahead and head to the airport. Make sure you make it in time to that conference. It's a really big deal. Like, I know you don't want to miss it. I know you're gonna miss Annabelle a lot, and you're very sweet with her, but you're really gonna need to get going unless you miss anything here. Oh. There we go. Oh, we kind of missed the kiss on the cheek, but did we hear that much? Let's get them in a conversation. We're gonna just drag them outside, actually. Her taxi's gonna be here in just a bit, actually, so they're gonna go ahead and chat out here, you know, so that they can say their final goodbyes together. She's very reluctant to leave Annabelle here, but she knows that Terrance is gonna take really good care of her. He's a wonderful father, and it'll make her even more excited to see Annabelle when she gets home, which she knows that. So we'll let them go ahead and take a little trot on out to the front of the Winston Manor here. We'll fast forward a little and have him send Julia off on her way to the airport to go ahead and go on her business trip. There they come out the front door. Now, I'm sure Julia is just giving him all of her secrets and tips and tricks for taking care of Annabelle. She's, again, adores this child, so I think that she's the main caretaker of her. But Terrance is like, listen, you've gone over this with me so many times. I know how to take care of her. Don't worry at all. Like, if anything happens, you know, if I can't figure anything out, we do live with your parents. I mean, I can ask your mom. She's raised 3 kids. You guys are not going to woohoo right now. Help. She's raised 3 kids. I can ask her for advice at any point. You know, just relax. Enjoy your trip. Hello. Enjoy your trip and don't worry about it. Okay, Miss Julia is very reluctant to leave, but we're going to force her to just go ahead and get going. Here, Terrance, give her a goodbye kiss, and let's get going. You should have done your goodbye woohooing a couple days ago if you wanted to do that. My goodness. I know, we're trying to tell a story here, so this is what I mean about them being wily. They behaved pretty well on the first episode, so it only makes sense that they're going to be a nuisance this time. Knock it off. Knock it off. Oh, hello. Where did you go? There we go. Okay. Oh, damn. Nice, big, passionate kiss to send her on off. Instill her with confidence as she leaves for a whole week. So yeah, let's have Julia head on out here. We'll just have her head out here. We don't need to keep following her, as reluctant as she is. Time to head off to your big business meeting. Have fun. Good luck. Terrance is just a phone call away if you need. You can really see how in love they are. They're a lot less passionate nowadays. I think that's more attuned to Julia just being kind of lifeless. But now that Terrance is alone, he's gonna drop the act a little bit. So he's not actually as happy to be taking care of the kid as he's acted like with Julia. He's a pretty angry man underneath. He's had Julia pretty fooled, but this little twerp over here is not his favorite thing in the world, and he's really not that happy about being left alone with it the whole time. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and talk to it and just let the kid know that he's not really interested in spending a lot of time with her or taking care of her. So, you know, she's a 3-month-old. She can't really understand, but he's gonna let her know that she better not cause any fucking trouble because he's not in the mood for it. Time sections are off, but sometimes when they're just like in a conversation, they just get going, you know, and then like we'll do like autonomous interactions in the conversation. So he's gonna go ahead and go work on his computer over here. Here's their bedroom, what it looked like 13 years ago at least. Julia and Terrance's room. It's a lot brighter in here, but he needs to get to some work on the computer. What he does for work is a little ambiguous. It's not really super well defined, but he generally kind of works in the business world, like pops around, sort of a, you know, salesman, wheeler and dealer. Let's go try to do some work on the computer. Sorry, since it's being a little slow. Here, practice programming, sure. We'll just pretend that's him doing some accounting for work, the business firm that he's working for. I think he bounces around to a lot of different firms, but he's planning on mainly keeping out of that nursery, not paying too much attention to Annabelle in the background there. Is he a stockbroker? Did I say he was a stockbroker? Well, he is eventually, but right now he's still kind of making his way up in the world, you know. He's got a lot on his plate with a new baby that he doesn't really care about and stuff. So, oh, we can hear that evil laugh there a little. I think he cares for Julia to some extent, but his main goal in marrying her was to kind of get in with the Winston family because they are really big in the business world and they have a lot of clout, a lot of influence, you know, and a kid was never really in the plan for him, and now he's been left, like, to deal with it alone. And, I mean, she's obviously more in love with him and all over him than ever, and I don't think that that's what Terrance ever wanted or was planning on. And we're just gonna have him work for a while here. And the baby, it's pretty muffled in here, but as the night goes on, he checks in a couple times because it's constantly crying, and he just can't really get anything done. And he's really pretty tired of it, and doesn't really want this attachment that's going to keep him connected to the Winston family longer than he wanted to. So we're going to go over here to socialize. He's going to go ahead and, you know what, let's just chat with people on the forums here. He's going to do a little bit of searching on the dark web because he's a bit of an evil dude, but he's not like completely heartless, I guess. I mean, he's not really someone who does things himself, is a better way to describe it, I guess. So he's not really wanting to take care of a child, like, whether that's actually taking care of it while Julia's gone, or having Annabelle killed or dealt with in whatever way possible. He's not gonna kill an infant, so he's gonna find someone else to do his dirty work for him. He knows that there are some pretty terrifying dark people on the dark web that will do his bidding for him, so he's gonna go ahead and find some people. He's gonna look around, and he's gonna find a post by this person named 𝕋𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒, and they have a posting on there. It's pretty vague, just says that they will do whatever job is necessary, you know, for the right price. If you ask, they're close in area to him, he finds out, and so he's gonna start messaging with 𝕋𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒. Actually, if we wanna, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up their messages here if things will load. There we go. So we're gonna bring up their messages. So 𝕋𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒 gonna reply back and just say, "Yo, sup, like, what can I do you for?" And he's gonna say back, "Hey, like, your post said you'll do anything, right? You know, no matter the job, I'm your guy," is what the post said, basically. And 𝕋𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒 gonna say, "Correct for the right price, what you need, dude." He's gonna explain the situation back to 𝕋𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒 here. Have a little bit of a Sims, calm down. Well, this isn't canon. He's passed out. He's so, like, you know, upset about the baby, but we're gonna continue through his messages here. We're just gonna leave him passed out on the floor. Sims is not my friend tonight. Let's just finish up going through these messages. He's just passed out from irritation of the baby crying in the background. But he did get to finish his messages with Aphotic Bane first, saying that he really needs someone to take care of his daughter, that his wife is out of town, he's the only one around to watch the kid, take charge of her right now, so he's the only one around. I mean, the rest of the Winston family is kind of here and there, but, you know, Terrance isn't close to him, he kind of keeps his distance and stuff, so... Yeah, non-con. Sorry, we knew we'd have a non-con moment at some point in the series. But, he's gonna say, I just need you to take her off my hands before the end of the week when my wife returns. No matter how untraceable this chat may be, I would feel safer if we could meet in person to discuss some more details. So Terrance definitely wants to, like, keep most of the actual details of the, you know, the deal offline. And so Aphotic Bane's gonna go ahead and reply and say, yo, no way anyone's gonna be able to trace this. Like, that's my guarantee. But I get it. We can meet up, then talk shop. How old's the kid? Terrance says back, 3 months old. I know it's really young, but I'm hoping that's not gonna be an issue for you. Aphotic Bane's not really phased. He just says, nah, you know, just want to know what I'm in for. Babies are easier half the time anyway. You said you'd pay whatever, even like 10K. Terrance was kind of thinking it'd be a lot more than that. So yeah, he's gonna say back basically, whatever, if that's what you're asking, sure, I'll pay $10,000 if that's the price. Aphotic Bane replies 20K. Terrance is not really wanting to keep doing this for too long, getting a little irritated, just says, like, name your price, dude, I'll match it, whatever. I'll literally pay whatever. Aphotic Bane getting a little cheeky with him, saying, damn, we got a real rich bitch tonight, don't we? You must be real desperate. I usually have to deal with more haggling than that. But, in the end, you know, he's gonna take the deal. So, Aphotic Bane says, meet me at the Everglade Forest campsite number 3 at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Bring $25,000 in cash and the kid. I'll do the rest. Terrance a little annoyed with the playful insulting from this user is just gonna give him a short, quick, will do, thank you, leaving it off with Aphotic Bane saying, you better, Richie, and that's basically it. So we're not gonna continue seeing that for tonight. That's where we're gonna leave our little flashback for tonight before we jump back into the year of 2020 in modern times, but there's basically what Terrance had arranged. And, you know, the next day he went ahead and met up with this person, and once Julia, or the next morning, he called Julia and told her that the baby just never really woke up in the morning, that, you know, he doesn't really know what happened, that she died of SIDS in the middle of the night, leaving Julia pretty heartbroken. She didn't even get to speak at her conference yet, and she got a flight home pretty quick after that, and it's sort of a con that Terrance has been keeping up for 13 years, and Julia's obviously still in shambles about it. So now that we know a bit of what happened in the past, we're gonna go ahead and jump back to the future. So we're back in 2020, and we're up in Terrance and Julia's room, and if you didn't notice, I don't remember how much it was shown in the first episode, but the bedroom's a little bit more bleak than it was in the past, so it's lost a lot of color, kind of like Dear Julia here. So it's very early in the morning, everyone's kind of getting up and getting ready for work. Julia's just sort of rolling out of bed here. She usually gets up a bit later, but Terrance usually makes sure she's up in the morning still. He's over here just, you know, getting ready for work, really feeling himself in the mirror, I guess. And so they're gonna go ahead and, oh, let me unmute the Sims. There we go. So he's just gonna strike up a conversation with his wife real quick before he heads to work. You know, ask about her day. He's literally gonna ask and be like, so what do you have planned for today, sweetheart? And she's never really has that many grand plans. She's just gonna tell him that she's planning on you know, spending her day how she usually does. She might go read some stories to Annabelle out in the backyard today. She found some new things at the bookstore that she kind of wanted to share with her, and Terrance is gonna say, you know, she can't really hear your stories, right? I don't know why you're constantly sitting out there reading to her still, and I don't know that Julia liked that much. She's just gonna be like, I mean, you know, I don't know. I guess it's just in case she can hear me. I like to at least think that maybe she can. And I mean, my brother tells me that things like that can help if they make me feel good, you know. It does make me feel okay, and Terrance is gonna get a little mad about Robert II telling her that he's gonna go ahead. Here, we'll get him a little bit more angry, less angry than in the flashback, but he's a little tired of her brother constantly meddling, and he's gonna say that to her and be like, listen, I know he used to take care of you a lot when you were young, but he doesn't need to be interfering in your life that much anymore. He's not a professional. He doesn't know what's best for you. He doesn't, like, I don't know why you listen to him so much. I understand that he's your big brother, but I don't want you to be, like, listening to him as much as you always do. Here, we'll just chew her out a little bit. I want you to stop, like, taking his advice. It's clearly not helping you. He's stunting your growth, and I think he's just enabling it, and I don't think that you should listen to him anymore. Let me remind you that, I mean, it took a lot of work for me to convince this family that it wasn't your fault that the baby died. I mean, you're the one who went away, you know? It took a lot of work to make sure that they still loved you after that, and your constant moping's kind of ruining it. I don't think your brother's helping with that. You know, I love you so much, Julia. I'm just looking out for you. You know that I have your best interest at heart, and I would never steer you wrong. She's just gonna say, oh, I know you told me before. It's just hard. I've grown up listening to him my whole life, you know, and you're right. You're definitely right. I should, I'll listen to you more. You are my husband. I know that you care about me, and I know that you do have my best interest at heart. So it's a little rainy out, but she's still gonna go ahead and get dressed and plan to head outside. Terrance is satisfied hearing that from his wife. She's gonna go ahead and head into their closet and change into her everyday real quick. And Terrance will say, thank you. I'm glad that, you know, I got through to you. Appreciate it. I love you. I gotta head to work now, so I will see you later. And he is gonna head out to work, but first he's gonna take a little stop by Robert II's room here real fast. Robert's in here getting ready himself, and Terrance is gonna go ahead and get in a little argument with Robert, basically say the same thing that he just said to Julia, to Robert himself, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and go in. Let's have an argument. Well, career, sure. So Robert is just go ahead and getting ready, you know, to go to the office, being the new CEO and owner of the family company. Oh, there comes Terrance stomping in. Never a sight that Robert II loves to see, but he's gonna go ahead and start an argument with him and be like, listen, I told you once, I'm not gonna fucking tell you again. I am so tired of having this argument with you. I've told you before, I am Julia's husband. You all entrusted me to take care of her, so let me do that. You constantly treat her like a child. She is, like, in her 30s. She's a grown woman. She can take care of herself, and if anyone else should be helping her take care of herself, it should be me. So why don't you butt out and let me handle this situation the way that I know best. Robert II is not really a man who's gonna just back down at that, though. He's definitely gonna fight right back and say that he doesn't think that Terrance knows what's best. I mean, Julia constantly looks upset still, even when she's talking to him, and that, you know, you may have her fooled, but you don't have me fooled. I've never liked you, Terrance, since the day you stepped foot into this family. I'm gonna make sure they get in another little argument here we'll just have Robert yell at him. He's pretty angry now, too, you know? Like, I've never, ever liked you since the day that you came into this family. I've never trusted you. I don't know why she trusts you. And, I don't know what it is, but I don't trust you, and I'm gonna figure out, you know, what exactly is so untrustworthy about you. You don't have me fooled. I've got my eye on you, and I'm gonna keep taking care of my baby sister. She's a grown woman, but she's still my sister, and if you think that I'm gonna stop looking out for her just because you're in her life now, then you're fucking wrong. And Amy's gonna go ahead and come on out of the bathroom here listening to these two scream. She's gonna go ahead and yell at them and be like, all right, enough, I get it. I know you guys hate each other. I'm tired of hearing it. We all need to get to work. I don't want to have to fix another black eye from one of you like the last time you guys got into a brawl in the morning. Okay, let's just all calm down, shut up, and head on out to work and make money for this family, okay? So, putting her foot down a little bit there, stopping this fight between Terrance and her husband. She's real tired of hearing it. I think it's been getting pretty bad lately, though. It seems to keep boiling over a lot more than it usually did between these two. They're, fighting over the past is really ramped up lately, as Terrance has been getting in Robert's face a lot more about taking care of his sister. But the two of them are going to agree with Aimi for at least this morning. They do definitely need to get to work, so they're going to go ahead and angrily, they're not quite cooled off yet, but they're going to go ahead and head on out to work and drop it for the morning as we join Miss Catalina down in the kitchen. She's going to go ahead and start making some breakfast for everyone because, she's here to take care of Robert, but she's here to take care of the family to just sort of be a bit of a caretaker. They do have a butler, but Catalina likes to do things for herself too. She never really liked having servants to take care of her and stuff, so she's gonna go ahead and start some breakfast for everyone waking up. She knows that the kids that are headed to school and all the grown-ups that work jobs and stuff that leave in the morning are headed off, but Julia's go away. Julia's coming downstairs. She's got a little sun hat on. It's not super duper sunny today, but she's got a little hat on. I guess it's to protect from the rain, as she's gonna go ahead and head out to the grave over here. She will stop and talk to Catalina for a minute, though. Sorry, the kids are at work and I'm getting pop-ups, but Catalina's, of course, gonna at least say good morning to her and, ask how she's doing, and Julia will give her sort of general, response that she usually does. Catalina's gonna ask, oh, do you want some breakfast? I can definitely crack a few more eggs if you want some. And as usual, Julia will just say, no, I'm okay. I'll find my own food at some point. Thanks, Aunt Cat. You don't need to do that for me. And so she's just going to kind of head on out and say, yeah, I have some stories I wanted to read to Annabelle, so I was going to head on out. I know it's a little rainy, but I know Annabelle likes to hear stories. She always liked stories in the morning, so I'm going to do that. And Catalina's just going to say, okay, yeah, you have fun, give her some kisses from your great aunt for me as she's finishing breakfast. Definitely still kind of worried about Julia, as Miss Juliet and Robert, Julia's parents and the heads of the household, are gonna go ahead and come into the kitchen here as they're waking up for the day, coming through the living room here. I guess they took the route around the porch to get into the kitchen. Interesting. But Catalina's gonna offer them some breakfast. Here we'll have her just grab a serving and sit down here, have them grab some as well. Robert's gonna say to his sister, we have a butler to do this. You don't need to make breakfast for us. And Catalina will say, as I was saying, yeah, I've never really liked the servants doing things for me. I can do things for myself. I am a grown woman. I don't need your butler to make me food. I am happy to provide for the family a bit here. And I want them to actually sit down and eat, as Catalina's gonna have a little conversation with them at breakfast here. We'll have her sit on the other side of the little island here as they all eat some lovely eggs and toast. Oh, Cat, you gonna come take a seat with your brother and his sister your sister-in-law, his wife, that you don't really get along with, but come on, buddy. All the kids getting invited to events. I mean, we know they're really fancy. They're really popular at school, you know. Catalina wants to have a little conversation with these two about Julia, though, because she's only been around a few weeks now taking care of the family, but she's definitely noticed that Julia's obviously not doing great, and she knows it's been a long time, so she wants to go ahead and start up a conversation with them and be like, hey, so Julia's really not doing great. I think she's brought this up before, but she's gonna bring it up again and say, have you thought any more about getting her into some therapy? Because I know I brought it up when I first showed up, but Juliet's gonna chime in a little bit and say, I mean, we've started to, but Robert's gonna cut her off pretty fast and just say, Kat, I've told you before, just like last time, it's handled. She's not my responsibility. She's my daughter, but she's not a child. Terrance is her husband, and I've talked about it with him, and he doesn't necessarily think that she needs it. He doesn't think that it would necessarily be helpful to her and that she's doing okay. And you know, that's her husband. I'll leave him to take care of her. He's the one who would be paying for it anyway. Kat doesn't really like that response. Just gonna be like, you know, you could pay for your daughter's therapy. But okay, have you asked her about it? Also, why did you go to Terrance? And, you know, Robert's just gonna kind of say, listen, you know, it's my family. She's alive still, isn't she? Like, she's getting by, she's processing it the way that she needs to process it. I know it's been a while, but it's not my place to meddle. I don't know what she's going through, and, like, Terrance trusted me that he's taking care of her, so I'm gonna believe him and call it that, and I don't need you coming back after 50 years and telling me what you think I should do. And with that, Robert will leave this conversation. He's done eating. He's gonna say, now, you know, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go make sure that Brent is actually awake before noon and actually heading out to submit some job applications today. So yeah, here we'll stop that conversation real quick. The Sims will stop the conversation. Just throw a little comment, you know, out as he's walking out to the garage and be like, listen, Kat, you were making breakfast on your own. You know how we were both raised, is to do things ourselves. If she wants therapy, she can pay for it and do it herself. We were raised to do things on our own. Our parents didn't, like, give us handouts like that, and I'm raising my kids the same way, okay? They're not gonna be raised like a dirty Clarke, okay? So she can handle it if she wants to. And with that, he will hopefully head out to the garage. I'm just gonna go ahead and send him out to the garage there, and Catalina's gonna turn her attention to Juliet instead and just be like, I noticed that he never actually answered that he whether or not he asked Julia herself, but that's just like him, I guess. And Juliet kind of agrees, but she's not really, you know, happy about talking with Kat. It's not her favorite person. And Kat's even gonna start to dig in a little on Juliet and be like, you know, I don't know why you let Robert talk for you like that. I heard you start to answer, and that he just completely cut you off. You have input in the, like, it's your children as well. I don't know why you let him do that, okay? If my, you know, dear late Javier ever just spoke to me and spoke over me like that, I mean, I would have shut that shit down real quickly. I know my brother's hard-headed, but, you know, you don't need to let him walk all over and speak for you like that. And Juliet doesn't really like Kat attacking her marriage. She's gonna say back to Kat, yeah, I guess that's a quality that runs in the family, doesn't it? To which Kat will respond, what do you mean by that exactly? And Julia will just say, you know exactly what I mean, Kat. And I agree with Robert, actually. Don't meddle in our parenting. You don't get to show up after abandoning your family for, like, decades and tell me and us how to run ours. So don't come in here and attack my marriage or my parenting style. And you know what? I think I agree with Julia. I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time getting some fresh air while I finish my breakfast. I'm gonna head outside. Have a very good day, Catalina. and make her exit from the conversation as well. Cat being a little irritated but used to conversations going like that with Juliet over here. So if we go ahead and catch up with Robert, heading on out to the garage, he's going to see that Brent actually is already up. He hasn't seen his son up before noon without forcing him to in a long time. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Carol65. Is that Caroline? Carolyn? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but if that's you, hi, welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And if it's not you, then whoever that was, I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, Robert's gonna be like, wow, you're actually up before I had to get you up. And then Brent will respond that, yeah, I told you I was gonna go out and, you know, look for a job, and I did intend to do that. Time just keeps getting away from me. Sorry. Oh, I should have said yes to that. It looks like Samantha in the background's wanting to invite her boyfriend Maxwell over, but she needs to do some homework first, so he can't come over yet. And now that school isn't getting out in the afternoon here, it's a bit past noon and now, but Brent's, you know, gearing to get out. Robert is going to question what he's wearing, though. Like, you're really going to go interview and get a job wearing that? And Brent will just say, I mean, I'm just going around and filling out applications today. I'm not, like, doing any interviews. Robert is going to yell at his son a little bit for that, though, because he didn't realize he was that early in the process. Just say, really? You haven't even submitted applications yet? You haven't even, like, researched jobs and figured out where you want to apply yet? Ugh. You better get on top of it. Like I told you yesterday, okay? And Brent's just gonna say, yeah, I know. Robert will tell him that, you know, his Aunt Kat made some breakfast if he wants to grab food before he leaves. But Brent's fine. He'll just say, maybe Robert was even mocking Kat for making the food when they have a butler and stuff. But Brent will say, no, it's fine. I'll just grab some breakfast on my way to look for jobs. Okay, I'll just grab something at a fast food restaurant on the way out. I'm good. I better get on out to that job force, you know, go find a job. He's very excited to do so, can't we tell? That's where we're going to leave the Winston Manor for today. We're going to hop over to another little household for a second and before we catch back up with Brent and his job search. We're going to go ahead and catch back up with Brent. He told his dad that he was going to go get some breakfast and then head to put in some job applications. That's not 100% the truth. He does plan to actually go put in some job applications, but where he's headed first is not exactly breakfast, but it is his dealer's house, so he's running a little low on his drug stash. He's been battling addiction for a long time, and he's kind of gone through waves of recovery, but he's still definitely high most of the time, and his stash is for sure running low, so he needed to make a little stop at his dealer's house to go ahead and get some more first. So he's gonna go ahead and knock on the door. I have him in the household, so I can't actually have him knock on the door unfortunately, but just pretend that he went ahead and knocked on the door, and we'll see who answers over here. And it's actually Hunter Clarke. So we haven't met him yet, but this is the youngest son of the Clarke family, who we saw everyone else last episode, but this is actually Hunter's trailer here, and he's gonna kind of smirk down at Brent and be like, oh, hey Winston, you're back. And let him know that Cypress is on the phone with another client right now, but you can go ahead and come on in and wait if you'd like, which Brent will reluctantly say yes to. It's not his favorite idea. Brent has waited inside of Hunter and Cypress's trailer before to get his drugs. Hunter's gonna just go back to what he was doing on his computer over here. Just go back to programming or whatever you were doing on the computer. Brent's waited in here. It's kind of a disgusting trailer. He doesn't love being in here very much, but he's often run into random half-naked suitors either lounging in the living room or just kind of, you know, heading out and crossing paths with them. So it makes him a little uncomfortable to sit in the trailer, but he doesn't mind. He really needs to get his fix, so he'll go ahead and do it. Getting a little distracted by whatever the hell Hunter's doing on his computer over here while waiting for Cypress, who is Hunter's girlfriend. Technically, they don't really label things. They mainly say girlfriend if people ask, but she lives with Hunter and is Brent's dealer. She is a drug dealer primarily, but her and Hunter do live together. Brent's kind of just awkwardly waiting around, sort of watching whatever Hunter's doing over his shoulder. Some of them, like, names and things going on Hunter's computer seem a little bit familiar to Brent, but he doesn't have the time or energy to process that right now. He can't really place things. It's not that big a deal, and it's all good anyways, because Miss Cypress is gonna go ahead and come out. Oh look, this is their pet raccoon as well. This is Trash Boy. We can say hello to him as well. He's a beloved member of the household. But we can go ahead and meet Miss Cypress over here, who I've been very excited to show off to you guys. This is Hunter's girlfriend, Cypress, here, and Brent's dealer. And yeah, Hunter's just gonna kind of toss back to him and say, yo, your schmuckiest client's here. Which Cypress is just gonna kind of chuckle and say, listen, Hunter, I know your guys' families are feuding, but that doesn't mean that you can insult, you know, some of my most high-paying clientele. I'm very sorry about him. Hey, Brent. Like, what's up? What do you need today, baby? Brent's pretty awkward anyways, and just gonna say, you know, the usual, I guess. Just need a fix to go ahead and get through today. I gotta go put in some job applications and such. I know it's already getting dark, but, you know, it's not something I'm too excited about doing. So he's gonna go ahead and, if the menu will come up, he's just gonna buy some weed and some cocaine from her. He mainly does weed most days, but there, we'll just buy some sour diesel and we'll buy some cocaine. He likes to have a little cocaine, you know, when he wants a bit of a boost, though. Cypress and him have always been friendly. I mean, she's been his dealer for a couple years now, and so they're on pretty good terms at this point. And she's gonna, she'll say, okay, yeah, you know, whatever you want, baby, you know, I got it for you. Yeah, I got some real good quality stuff right now. I don't know, check things. But he's gonna go ahead and buy some weed and cocaine from her, and she'll say, wow, you actually putting in some job applications, or is that a cover? You know, you don't need to cover with me. To which she'll say, yeah, I'm actually planning on putting in some job applications right now. Nope. We're not gonna do that. You're just here to buy drugs. Thank you. Stop it, please. Don't worry about this. This isn't happening. Cypress will say, you know what, Brent, good for you. I'm glad that you're about to go get some job applications out there, though. I think that's a good idea for you. I'm sure Rosalie will be happy that, you know, you're maybe cleaning up your act a little bit. Obviously still doing drugs, but good for you. I, you know, wish you luck. I hope you go get something out of these applications. She's gonna go ahead and go back to their little bedroom stash area back here and grab a supply. You know, she's like, yeah, just keep waiting here, let me go get what you needed and I'll be right back for you, don't worry about it. Which Brent's just kind of awkward. He doesn't really remember, like, necessarily mentioning much about Rosalie to Cypress. I mean, everyone knows that Rosalie is his daughter that he had in high school. It's kind of common knowledge. They're a pretty well-known family around town. There's sort of like a hazy memory in the back of his mind of being really fucked up one night and, like, calling Cypress, sobbing on the phone about how he doesn't want to be a disappointing father to Rosalie. That's sort of resurfacing on his mind, and so he assumes she maybe retained a bit more of that conversation than he was hoping that she did. It was pretty embarrassing for him, but he's like, oh fuck, that must be why she knows that I'm a bit more of a softie for my daughter deep down. But he's just gonna kind of repress that memory again, shove it back. I mean, it is sweet that Cypress was kind of checking in, you know, seems to at least remember things and is interested in his family. Hunter seems to be done with whatever he's doing on on the computer here. It is a pan flag on the wall. I'll confirm that. That's not really a secret. You know, Hunter and Rosalie, or sorry, no, Hunter and Cypress just kind of do whatever they want, you know. Again, there's multiple suitors of multiple genders usually coming on in and out of this trailer. For once, it seems to be pretty empty, which Brent isn't used to. But Hunter's gonna, you know, mess with Brent a little bit, you know, having a Winston in his trailer. Just say, like, you know what? Ignore them, like, actually kissing on the cheek here. Hunter's just gonna say, you know, I'm just fucking with you, Winston. I mean, if you got a new haircut and changed, you know, your whole wardrobe, you might be pretty hot underneath all of that anyways. Which Brent makes Brent pretty uncomfortable. He doesn't really know how to feel about that. Hunter just kind of giggling at him as he's gonna go ahead and head back to the bedroom to cross paths with Cypress as she comes out to give Brent his stash here, just rolling her eyes. She obviously heard her boyfriend messing with him back there and being like, sorry about him, like, I can't control what he says, but go ahead and get on out of here, Brent. Hunter will throw a bit of a, you know, see you, Winston, as Brent goes ahead and awkwardly scurries his way out of the trailer. It's pretty dark now, but he's gonna get a couple job applications in, damn it. He's got his stash now. He feels more confident he can do this and get on out, hopefully not have to come back for a bit now. Pretty shaken up by what Hunter said. And, you know, the weird compliment about Brent being kind of hot, it's not something that Hunter's ever really said to him before, and it's just kind of hitting Brent sort of weird, like it's sticking in his mind for some reason, and he's not really sure why his cheeks feel so hot, and, like, oh my god, he has so many the motion buffs right now, Jesus Christ. Yeah, his cheeks are just kind of burning, and that comment's really sticking with him, and he's not really sure what he's feeling after Hunter started flirting with him there, but it's another thing to repress and come back to another day, which he does with most things. So he is going to go ahead, head out, get back on his motorcycle. If EA gave us transportation, I could show that, but he's going to hop on his bike, head out, and hopefully get a couple job applications in before every single place in town is closed. But that's where we're going to leave Brent for today. We're back with Rosalie here for just a little bit. Let me turn the sound on. She's just, you know, watching some TV. It's kind of late at night. You know, she's pretty satisfied that she finally made a decision today. She's very happy about that. Oh, look at her. She looks so happy right now. She's just kind of winding down with some late night television, you know, and it's a bit late, but her phone's actually buzzing. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't check her phone too often, but she's been on high alert ever since the hospital told her that the donor wanted to speak and that they were going to give the donor her information. So she's going to go ahead and check her phone, and we can go ahead and take a little look-see in on her texts here. So if we go ahead and pull up her text, she's got a text from a number that she doesn't recognize here saying, hey, this is donor number, you know, the donor that she chose, and that the good folks at Northridge Hospital gave her number to him. And I'm gonna queue up a couple browse webs on her phone so she keeps looking at her phone. But just saying, like, hey, I know this is kind of weird. I hope that it doesn't really freak you out. I just always, I guess, wanted to meet the person that would be wanting to have a baby with my sample. Like, if someone was ever interested, I'm sure that the Northridge... Oh, I'm just kind of wanting to vet the mothers, you know, who might be using my sample, just the way I'm sure that you've vetted a bunch of people before making a decision. And, you know, the good doctors at Northridge were really kind enough to let me add that stipulation to my listing. I guess it's just like a personal convictions thing, I guess. And they're actually asking if she would be willing to meet up at Magnolia Blossom Park at 3 p.m. on Thursday, which is not tomorrow, but it's the next day, which is kind of, you know, fast. And Rosalie's even going to say, oh, well, hello there. I don't usually agree to meet up with strange men without a little more conversation, but I guess I can make an exception this time, especially for meeting in public. Your reasoning makes sense to me, and I guess I do feel like I know you, at least to some degree, after poring over all the details in your document for so long, you know, over the past day or two, and just kind of wait around for a response from him. I think she's feeling kind of giddy, weird, like, excitement and apprehension, you know, actually getting contacted by this dude. Like she said, like definitely been reading, you know, all of the details in his profile for the past couple of days and stuff, and getting to talk to him is kind of a trippy experience. But he's gonna go ahead and respond and say, sweet, thanks for being so understanding, you know, I'll be at the furthest picnic table on that peninsular outcropping everyone fishes on at the park. The park's, you know, right down the road from Rosalie's house, and she's gonna be like, oh yeah, cool, sounds good, I know exactly what you're talking about. I go on walks to the park all the time with my dog, which, speaking of, do you mind if I bring my dog? She doesn't really leave and go anywhere without bandits, but she always likes to make sure that people are comfortable with that, of course, and the reply she gets is just, oh my god, are you kidding? Like, please bring your dog with you. So she says, okay, cool, it's settled then, you know, kind of chuckling at that, you know, it's kind of fun, not having a too bad a time texting back and forth, she's getting good vibes already. Just say, yep, it's settled then, see you in a couple days, potential papa. And he says back, LOL, see you then, mystery mama, I look forward to getting to know you as much as you've gotten to know me from that little booklet of donors. And that is the last interaction that they had between each other for the night. And so I think Rosalie's feeling pretty happy about that, kind of like scared. I mean, it is like a little you would be apprehensive meeting up with like a random dude, but it is like a public place. She's texting her mom now too, and just telling her mom where she's going to be at 3 p.m, being a smart girl, you know, that can't trust dudes, making sure her mom knows that she's going to be at Magnolia Park at 3 p.m, you know, if she doesn't like hear back from her in an hour, she's supposed to be meeting the donor, taking all her safety precautions, of course, but she's giddy, she's got a little bit of that, you know, butterflies of excitement in her stomach. She's really excited to like meet this person that she's been reading about, and it's not what she was expecting, but I think she's excited to meet him, and hopefully he likes her too, and it's, you know, will give her permission to use the sample, and she could be pregnant soon, so that's super exciting for Rosalie. She's gonna go ahead and turn in for the night now. It's been a long day, and that's where we will leave her for today too. So but anyways, welcome back. We're joining in the next day with the Clarkes, and we're heading in. I don't even know if we saw this or last time, but this is the study in the Clarke household, which is where Lorena and Justin II have been using as a makeshift bedroom and just an area to sleep since they've moved back in to help take care of Justin and in his old days. There's a picture of Justin and his wife Rona on their wedding day in the office as well, all the myriad of diplomas and stuff on the walls, news articles about the family and such. And Justin II is in here working on things for the private practice, covering some emails and stuff. And he's been working, it's about mid-afternoon, and he's been working for most of the day, and, you know, he's missing his wife, so he's gonna decide that he wants to go see what Lorena's up to, and hopefully go spend some time with her. And as we found her last episode, Lorena's actually upstairs. She's not painting this time. She's trying her hand at the guitar. Justin's gonna get off the computer now that he's done with his work for the day, and go say, hello to her, check in on her. She's been up here playing guitar for a bit now. As I said, she's kind of trying out a bunch of different new hobbies, seeing what strikes her fancy, you know, what she likes the best, figure out what she wants to kind of do with her life now that her kids are often, you know, becoming adults, doing their own thing. So guitar, I guess, is the hobby she's chosen to look into today. She's very in the zone, though. She's not really even noticed that Justin II has come in. Look at, she's so cute, trying to like figure out these correct accords and such. Justin is gonna try and strike up a conversation with her though. So we'll just tell a story, you know, dramatic story about work that was just happening, you know, say, hey honey. She's not really responding too much though until he really like calls her name. Snaps her out of it. She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I've just been so focused on like I've almost got this song figured out. I'm so close. I think that like, you know, it's sounding pretty good lately and I'm enjoying it. I think it's going well. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. You looked like you were, you know, really in the zone there. I'm done with my work for the day, and I was wondering if you wanted to spend some time together. I was hoping you wanted to maybe hang out a bit now that I'm, you know, not occupied for the day. And she'll say, oh, that sounds so lovely. Yeah, I'd love to spend some time with you. Just like I said, I'm really close to figuring out this song. Like, I'm so close. I think maybe with another hour or two, maybe, like, I could really nail it. And then maybe I can perform it for you or something. I just want to finish figuring this out for the rest of the day. If you give me just a little bit of time, maybe, then we can totally hang out. I would love to do that. And Justin, a little bit exasperated, but he's gonna say, oh, okay, yeah, I miss you. I'd love to spend some time with you. You look beautiful today, but I guess, spending time with my beautiful wife can wait a couple hours if you really want to finish that song. Some of the guys, some of my old business school friends did say that they're going out this afternoon, so I told them no because I wanted to make sure that I had my time this afternoon devoted to you. But if you have something else that you're doing for right now, then maybe I'll go out, have like a drink with them or so, and I'll be back in a little bit, and then we can hang out, I guess. No reason to say no to them if you're not even around right now. And Lorena said, yeah, that sounds great. Go have fun, honey. I'll be here when you get back. We can totally hang out and have like a nice little night together. That sounds wonderful. The Sims are really on one today. But yeah, Justin's gonna go ahead and head out to hang out with some of his business school friends for a couple hours. Lorena's gonna go ahead, head back in here and keep practicing her guitar for the day. That's really what her main focus is right now. She's having a lot of fun with it, she's like excited about it. So we're gonna have Justin go ahead and head on out. This is his, never mind. I'm not gonna say which car it is. I don't remember which one I wanted to make his, but yep, he's gonna go ahead and head out there. And Madison is actually off to her after school activity real fast, but we're gonna go ahead and head over. I don't even think we saw this room last time. We're gonna go ahead and head across the hall from the rec room is Amanda and Christopher's room over here. Where did he go? Well, Christopher should be sitting on the bed reading. He's just gotten home a little bit ago from working at the private practice for the day, and Amanda is over here on the computer, and oops, didn't mean to get rid of his board mullet because he's definitely bored. Amanda is over here doing some online shopping on the computer. Here, she's looking at some clothing, and she's been asking for his feedback like every couple minutes or so, but he's not really been that tuned in to what she's saying. Sims. Yeah, we'll pretend that she's doing some online shopping here, but yeah, he's barely given any input on this. He doesn't really care, as we saw last episode. She drags him shopping a lot of the time. It's not really a different story at home, online shopping. And he's kind of just off in his own head because literally all of her babble about designers and fabrics and, necklines and stuff doesn't mean a fucking thing to him. He doesn't care. Amanda's gonna get kind of annoyed though because she's been asking for him to look at like this certain dress for the past 2 minutes now. She's gonna go ahead and get off the computer and come yell at him though, like, hey, dumbass, like, I've asked you so many times if you can look at the dress. It's like, it's very important to me, and I don't understand why you're ignoring me right now. You've been ignoring me all day, and I thought that once you were home, you were at least gonna, spend some of your attention on me, especially when I specifically asked you if you could give me your opinions on things this afternoon. And he's kind of taken aback and just gonna be like, oh, okay. I mean, I was at the practice all day, so sorry I didn't respond to any texts that you sent me. I was with patients all day. I wasn't really checking my phone, but I'm sorry about that. She's just gonna say, no, it's fine. I know that, you're a big doctor man. I'm just trying to include you in things so much, and it doesn't seem like you really care, or that you want to be included in things, including this partnership sometimes. I'm not just shopping for clothes right now. You know that I'm shopping for outfits for my parents' big charity ball that they're having, and it's really important that I buy something that looks really nice, and I just wanted to get something that you think I look pretty in. I wanted to look nice for you and make sure it's something that you would want want to match too, because we have to match. We have to be the best dressed couple at this charity gala. You know, I just was hoping that you would have a little bit more input on it, since it's so important to both of us. And Christopher's still just kind of confused, like, Amanda, you know I think you look beautiful in whatever you wear, and isn't your parents' charity ball like over a month away? And Amanda just doesn't see why he doesn't understand this. She's like, babe, like, yeah, it's over a month away. Hello. If I want to be the best dressed there, you know that I need to order my gown, like a couture gown, at least a month in advance, and be able to have a custom suit made to match me. Like, we have to get on this now. All right, it's okay. You can make it up to me, like, you know, later tonight, I guess. But just please be a little bit more present with this, okay? The charity gala is a really big deal. You know that, like, your whole family's gonna be there, and I just want to make a good impression to everyone and prove to everyone, like, what a, like, amazing, strong couple we are. And I just really need you by my side for that, okay? And Christopher's like, yeah, okay, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll try better. You know, I don't know as much about all this, you know, fashion and stuff as you do. But I'll try and be a little more present. And I guess they're about to go woohoo, which I guess I'll let them, you know. He can make it up to her a little bit in bed there, I guess. Right now, you can kind of see him in the mirror. Whoop. I'm not going to follow him, though. But I guess we'll let them woohoo a little. Chris continuing to get berated, though, about his opinions on things, and Amanda continuing to not understand why he just doesn't want to seem to give his opinions on all of her clothing options. I mean, it's for the big charity gala, guys. It's a big deal. Madison is on her way home now, though, now that her after school activity is over. And Madison actually wants to come talk to her mom. Now, she really wants to talk to her mom. She's going to come upstairs over to Marissa and Sean's bedroom. She really wants to talk to her mom, but after the last time talking to her dad and him not really wanting to press the issue of finding her birth mother since she is adopted, she's decided that she's going to take things into her own hands. That's not the Clarke butler, that's the Winston butler, but I've been having issues with butlers in my games, so ignore that. Where is Maddie? Oh, she's headed up the stairs right now. Perfect. Okay. She's decided that she's going to take things into her own hands. You know, if her dad isn't going to stand up to Marissa and ask her again, then Maddie will herself. She doesn't really care about Marissa's opinion of her. Like, it can't get any worse. So Marissa's just working from home today, working on things in her home office, and Maddie's she's gonna knock on the door first. She knows that it's not usually a good idea to just barge in. Of course, getting the response that, hey, I'm busy, go away. Maddie will just walk in at that, though. She got a response knowing Marissa's definitely in there, and say, hey, Mom. And Marissa's just gonna say, I thought I told you to stay outside. Like, what do you need, you little twerp? I'm working right now. And Maddie, the ever witty little child, will be like, wow, I can feel the love just oozing out of you, Mom. Thanks, I appreciate it. She knows if she wants to get anywhere, she's got to call Marissa Mom to her face. I'm gonna actually have them go ahead and sit and chat on the bed here, or I guess the little ottoman in front of the bed. Marissa's just gonna roll her eyes, though, and say, okay, fine, what? You're in here. Oh, that's an interesting way to sit on it, but sure. You're in here, what do you need? I need to get back to work. I have a lot to do, but what? And Maddie's gonna give her a little business pitch. She's been practicing all day at school, and just be like, yeah, okay, Mom, so I wanted to bring something up with you because I know that Dad won't bring it up again, but unlike Dad, I'm not scared of you, so I would like to have a little bit of a conversation, Mother. And Marissa's gonna say, your father's not scared of me, okay? And Maddie's just gonna kind of raise her eyebrow at that and be like, sure, Mom. To which Marissa won't really deny it again, but just say, fine, what do you need to talk to me about so badly that it can't wait until later? And Maddie's just gonna come out with it and say, I know you said no before, but listen, I'm heading into the 8th grade next year, and I want to meet my mom. Like, I want to meet my birth mom. I want to find her, and I know the reasons you've given before, but I'm gonna keep pressing this issue. Like, I want to meet my birth mom, and that's final. That's what I want for my 13th birthday. Okay, let me meet, let us find my birth mom and help me. Like, I'm just a child. I can't really do anything on my own, to help find her. So, Marissa definitely doesn't like her bringing this up again, though, and is for sure gonna scold her and yell at her and say, you little shit, I've told you before, my answer's not gonna change. Didn't your father tell you? I have such a big reputation to uphold right now that would look so awful on, like, my public record if it looks like my daughter doesn't even, like, want me, wants to find, like, her tramp mother that gave her up. Excuse me? No, that's not happening. I don't even know why you would, like, want to find her. Like, she clearly didn't want you anyways. That's why you were up for adoption, sweetie. So, and maybe it's just better that you drop the issue for now, okay? I don't know why you expected me to help you with this. Maddie is gonna get really upset and just kind of throw it back at her and say, well, you know what? I'm pretty used to feeling like a mom doesn't want me, so I don't know why it would hurt anymore to meet my birth mom. Okay, I'm gonna actually have her yell back at Marissa. She's really upset, and yeah, here, let's even just insult her. Marissa has a bunch of flirting moves I can't get rid of, so just ignore that. If you didn't see in the Discord. Maddie's just gonna yell about how she hates how restrictive it feels in this house, and that her mom doesn't, respect her position, and, like, if she wanted her to act like in the public eye that she loved her, then maybe she should, act like she loves Maddie back for once. Marissa's had it, though. She's just gonna yell at her to get out and drop the. She doesn't want to hear it again, and there's gonna be hell to pay if she asks one more fucking time, if she can find her birth mother. That is the end of the discussion. That's final, and yeah, Maddie's gonna get it if she ever brings the issue up again. And similar to last time with Sean, she's gonna go ahead and stomp on out of the room here. She's tried it with both parents now, and she's gotten nowhere with that. I don't know if she necessarily really expected that she would, but she figured she'd at least try, I guess. So she's gonna stomp on out of the room, and this little girl's determined, though. You know what? She's gonna mutter to herself as she gets to her room that, fine, if neither of my adoptive parents will help me, then I'm just gonna have to figure this out on my own. But, like, just you watch, Marissa. No matter what you say, I'm gonna find my birth mom, and you can't do anything about it. She's gonna stomp on off to her cute little room over here to do some homework. And it looks like Lorena is finishing up her guitar playing in here. I think she's been done for a bit, but she texted Justin and asked, when he'd be back, and he hadn't really responded yet. It's been a few more hours than he said it would be, a few more hours than she said that she was going to be busy, so she figured she'd just keep practicing, I guess. It's getting pretty late now, though, so she's going to go ahead and head into their bedroom. Justin the second hasn't really asked her to pick him up or anything, so she assumes he's okay. Like, he's not too drunk, he's an adult, he can handle himself and get an Uber, I guess, if he's really that wasted. She's a little sad that he hasn't responded since she thought that they were going to hang out a bit this afternoon, and it seems like he's taken a bit of a longer break with his friends than he acted like he was going to, but that's all right. She knows that, they're both busy. He needs a break too. She just hopes that he comes home soon because the sun is starting to go down. She's even, she's gonna change into her sleepwear here. She's pretty tired. She'll wait up and do a little bit of reading though before he gets home as it grows later and later into the night here, you know, watching a bit of some videos on her phone, just kind of hanging out, continuing to wait until it's pretty late at night. I mean, only maybe like 9 or so, but it's much later than he acted like he was going to be home. And finally, a sobering up, but still a bit tipsy, Justin's gonna go ahead and walk in the room here and say, "Oh, hey, sweetie." And he's gonna just go to their dresser. He's gonna change into his sleepwear himself. Lorena's a little sad about this, you know, and she says that to him, like, "Oh, hey, you're back. I mean, it's pretty late now. I told you that I'd only be maybe another hour or two if you did want to hang out. I thought that you were gonna maybe just meet up with your friends for a second, and that you'd be back and we could spend the day together, you know, but it's okay. I know that you need a break. I get it. But we can maybe still make the best of the night together." And she's gonna go ahead and, let's see here. Can she make a move since they're on the couch? Help. Yeah, she's gonna kind of make a move and be like, you know, we haven't spent like that much time together lately. I know I'm a little bit tired, but I definitely still enjoy staying up a bit late with you if you would want to, you know. Hinting at what she wants, of course, but Justin's been drunk like all afternoon, and he's just gonna say, you know, "Damn, like you're really beautiful. You're always beautiful, but I'm really tired for tonight. So I think that time got away from both of us, and we should probably just turn in for the night. But another time, we can figure out a time soon to make sure that we spend the time together and hang out for the day." God damn it, echoes back. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? They're gonna go ahead and head to bed though. Lorena's kind of sad about that, but Justin, you know, she's not gonna push the issue, and they're both gonna go ahead and turn in for the night. Can you hear me? My mic is still like picking up at least. I'm sorry if it's echoey. But yeah, they'll turn in for the night with hopes at least on Lorena's mind that they, I mean, they didn't actually make plans there, but hopefully they'll make plans soon to be able to spend the night together, a day together, and spend some time together sometime soon. And that's where we are going to leave the Clarkes for the night. For our very last scene of the night, we are headed on over to the Magnolia Blossom Park at 3 p.m. on Thursday, aka the time that Rosalie Winston had set up to meet with this anonymous donor per his request. So, on a bright and sunny summer afternoon, the lovely Rosie Winston is headed on over to the park and is traversing the trails with her lovely dog Bandit, of course, as she requested to bring along and was subsequently encouraged to absolutely bring along on this journey. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect, since this is a little bit of an unusual request, and I mean, maybe a little bit of excitement in her heart as well at being able to meet this person that is going to technically, biologically be fathering her potential child, and hoping that it goes well, since she wasn't really sure that she would be able to meet the person beforehand. It's gotta make her feel good that she can at least check out that this dude matches all of the credentials that she found, scoured through the binder for, and discovered was the absolute best candidate. So here she is, running along the path. I'm sure Bandit is enjoying the fresh air on out here at the park, finally getting out of the house for the day. And so with nerves and a little bit of excitement in her heart, she is jogging along to the park bench that the two agreed to meet upon. Not exactly sure what to expect. She can kind of see the silhouette of a guy sitting there in the distance, at least assured that this random donor has not stood her up. But as she starts to get closer and the image is getting a little bit less blurry, a little less far away, it is starting to look a little bit familiar, but hey, it seems to be like a general average-sized white guy. A lot of them look alike, so maybe she's just thinking too much into things. But the closer and closer she runs, maybe there is a little bit something to the feeling of her memory being jogged there. And as she approaches even closer and gets right up to the picnic table, she sees that, yeah, her memory is serving her right. This is a familiar face, and not at all the face she was expecting to see, for sitting in front of her at this park bench is none other than the one and only Christopher Clarke. And that is where we are actually going to leave our episode for today. Why is Christopher Clarke here? Is this just a coincidence, or is he in fact the anonymous donor that Rosalie has so carefully picked out? And if so, why exactly is one of the heirs to the Clarke name putting his sperm in a sperm bank, especially when he is in a very public and long-term engagement? I guess we will have to wait until the next time to find out. So thank you so much for watching and being around. I don't know if I have too much more to ramble about, so I'm probably going to cut out some of my rambling here. I don't remember exactly what my closing statements were on this episode. Obviously, this is editing Gigi doing a VO because this part was unfortunately metered, even though it's little director's chair inside the actor's studio tidbit here. This was actually one of my very favorite scenes and one of the moments, one of the first things I had thought of for the series when I was coming up with the entire plot for season 1, and so I was incredibly excited to get to this scene, and unfortunately it's one of the ones that got muted. But there wasn't too much to be said. The main point is just like, oh, what the fuck? Chris is sitting at the bench. So yeah, I will go ahead and cut it off here. I will just cut down the video here of me. We'll just at least leave in the ending of me waving, but I hope you're enjoying Traitorous so far. There's plenty more coming your way, and definitely plenty more drama to discover as the rest of the season continues on. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all very, very much, and I will talk to you later, cuties.